Hi there, it's been a long time, but I wanted to do some playing around with some oil pastels. I don't really use them too much except for breaking a canvas. And I got these for $5 at Walmart, King Art oil pastels. And they're kind of, they're not very soft, you know. And so I resisted using them because I don't like the texture. But then I saw online that some people use mineral oil, and I have mineral oil, and I thought, well, why don't I move them around a little bit with mineral oil and Q-tips? And so that's what I'm gonna do. And yeah, you can see that there are a lot of fun colors, and that's what makes me want to play, thinking about, oh, look at all these different fun colors. And we'll see if we can get something, just really abstract. My style is the abstract and intuitive, so whatever I feel, I'm just going to do and kind of go from there. So let's see. I guess I can talk a little bit while I'm doing this. I don't want to make a really super long video, but it's the holidays. It's the last day of 2025. So that means it's New Year's Eve, and I decided, I haven't done any intuitive art in a while. I have been doing some other things, which I'll probably share on Instagram coming up soon, but my two latest pieces of art are currently drying after being varnished. So they're in my backyard, and they're not in my art room here. So, yeah, I'm just seeing what I feel like doing. I usually don't make geometric shapes, but for some reason I'm doing that right now. And this is what you get for not really thinking it through. You just randomly go and you just start doing things. Yeah, well, so we'll see how things blend together in the end. Somehow whenever I see a closed in space, I just want to color it. I want to color it in. But I want to make some shapes that can be blended into each other. And so maybe this isn't the direction I necessarily want to go in, so like, for example, if I have these shapes here in one color, and then I want to pick another color, and as I put them close to each other, then when I go to blend, I'm just hoping that they make some other pretty colors. So that's kind of what I'm thinking. So I like to make, usually I like to make swirly, spirally shapes, really like to do spirals. So I'm thinking if I do some spirals, and then maybe do a spiral within a spiral, then those two colors will be blended. So I could go back into the spiral and make another spiral. Yeah, I mean, it's really just to play. And I haven't really done anything in terms of like a focal point, because abstract art also has focal points. But as you can see here, this is more like just doodling, and which is, fine, because it's just my art journal, nothing, but I guess in the end I did want it to have something that draws my eye to it. So we'll see. I mean, this is just a layer, and I think what's cool about it is it can be, it can be added to. So I could always add to it. So there's me picking up some of the mineral oil with a Q-tip, and then I'm just swirling these, and they're blending together nicely. Let me see what would happen if I also blend the line around it. How does that look? Oh, interesting. What kind of looks fun? So this is all to just get my mind kind of reset, This is it's a mental reset, really, because, if you wanted to know what's on my mind, you wouldn't want to, because there's just so much that's on it, and I think it's the same for a lot of us. It's not, it doesn't always have to be like something negative or a worry. Sometimes it's just our minds are thinking about a lot of things, like there's just a lot going on, and sometimes the thoughts can be kind of nagging. There's some nagging things that have been unresolved that want to be resolved. But, I want also freedom from constantly thinking about those things. So here we go. Making art is something like a reason to allow yourself to not necessarily engage your mind into the thoughts that you were thinking earlier. So, yeah. So I feel now like I just want to go through and color or blend everything that I already colored in, and then go from there. That's all I'm doing. So there, you get to see, and all I'm doing is dipping in different Q-tips over, I don't know what happened to the one that did I throw the other one out? So everything that I colored here, I'm just blending. Yeah, I noticed that you don't really get much with these oil pastels, in the sense that, like, as I'm blending, I don't have a lot. There's not a lot of material that kind of blends out the color or the crayon. It's not that soft, creamy where it's like blending outward. That's mostly why I'm using, but I mean, you can't expect much from $5 oil pastels, right? So I do have other oil pastels, but I don't think those are much better quality either. I think I got those years ago just for the purpose of breaking a blank canvas, which I do use when I teach intuitive painting classes. We often use our oil pastels just to scribble. And I'm just still trying to decide if I like oil pastels enough to invest in. And I know some people just love using them, but I don't draw. And so the most that I would use them for is to make marks, So this page right here, I consider just a page of me making marks, mark making. But I do love it. It's the most relaxing thing I can think of, just making marks on a page. And then when you sit back and look at it, you can decide, what else can I do with it, Of course, now since I did this with the oil pastels, then you can't really put, I mean, maybe you could put acrylics on top of this, but, it's not really something commonly you do, because acrylics are water-based, so is watercolor, but Oil pastels, especially with all this oil in them, they're oil based, so you can only use more oil based materials if you want to keep going with it. You know, you just keep going with it. And but this is fun because I guess maybe I pressed harder when I did these, so I feel like, or maybe could it be just this color? It's just blending better than the one above. Maybe I pressed harder and got more crayon out of it, but I seem to be using up the mineral oil pretty quickly, so I have to keep that in mind to make sure I have enough, but I have a whole bottle full. I forgot why I originally bought the mineral oil. It's, I don't know what I was using it for. I've done all kinds of arts and crafts over the years. Not sure why I have this, but I was really happy to see that someone else used it to blend oil pastels, and it just seemed like a really fun thing, you know? So, all right, so here you can see how it's coming out for me, and I don't think I'm going to go much further on this page. I think maybe if I do add anything to it to keep going, I'll probably just come in with like a black marker, make some dots, shapes, circles, kind of add some fun interest. Maybe I'll just show you. I mean, it's not completely dry, and I don't think it's going to matter because I wouldn't go right on top of these, but, you know, I could come in with just little circles. That's something fun to do, and it kind of looks like snow or I don't know what. It's just a design, right? So that's something I could use to fill in these little spaces. It's cute. Yeah. I could, you know, if I want to try to, I don't know if I want to do that. You know, if I want to try to connect these shapes, I could do lines. I mean, they're sort of connected. Yeah, I think I like the little circles. They're fun. Now this video is probably going to be long, just doing this over and over again, but what are you gonna do? It's relaxing. And I find that I do watch a lot of people make art online because it relaxes me. When I'm not in the mood, or I'm not really gonna take the time out to make art, I watch other people making art. It's just very soothing. And when I was doing research for the neurographic art class that I teach, I read that just watching the relaxing action, you know, activates your mirror neurons. And so your brain records it as if you're doing it. I guess you just sort of get into it because you're like, oh, well, relaxation is what I'm getting into here. And so your brain thinks you're the one relaxing. So that kind of gives me a little bit of a good feeling knowing I'm not really wasting time, because maybe someone will see this video out there and just decide, yeah, this is a relaxing video to watch. So it really is. It's really helpful when you are looking for something during the day to get your mind off of things, and you don't really have time to go and create yourself, you know, but you do enjoy watching other people create. And that's really all it is just enjoying watching other people create. There's that added benefit of, you know, wellness, positivity, upliftment. I really enjoy when people are enjoying what they're making. It's really great to see them really get into it. And so that's how I feel. I feel like, for me. So there you go. nothing fancy, but now looking at it, I think, oh, it's kind of, I mean, I could go back in and draw some leaves and make these into more like roses. That could be fun to do. But even just as an exercise for relaxation. So keep in mind, if you want to use oil pastels, but they're kind of hard, like these King Art ones, you can use some oil. I think there are other oils you can use as well, but I can't remember now what the names are. But this is just mineral oil. So, alrighty then. Hope you have a happy New Year 2026 coming soon. Bye.